Hey, so amazing. You see how they playing? Live wire, it's all about sports and entertainment. You don't wanna miss it, so official like you never seen. Keep it going till the whistle blowing from the referee. Everything from highlights and stats. You know that we gotta run it back, whether on the field or the court. You know that this is where it's at. Subscribe, no delaying. This is Live Wire, sports and entertainment. Let's go.
All right, what's good, everyone? Welcome to another edition of Live Wire Sports Media. And today we going to talk about false narrative. Yes, false narratives that continue to circle around the Indiana Fever and their fans. But before I start, I'd like to give a special shout out to Martin Timberlake 2243. Thank you, sir, for the super chat. Greatly appreciate it. And thank you for continuing to support the channel. Now, I did a video last night where Shanae Umake had this, I guess they had this podcast, Interrupted, and she had a bunch of guests on there. She had Ellen Duncan, she had Andrea Carter on there, she had her sister on there, Nika, she had Lainey Hamilton, she had Kelsey Mitchell, she had Angel Reese on there, and she had Jackie Young on there. Chelsea Gray on there, my bad. But the main part of that was the question that she had asked Kelsey Mitchell. And she said, she gonna start with Kelsey. She said, ooh, wee, girl, your fans, they we know how they could be. And we already know from last year that all the fans, Fever fans, came with Caitlin Clark. But we already know that the Indianapolis area is a sports town. So they're going to support, they're going to ride and die for their fans. But the main narrative is that the Fever fans are racist. And every time the Fever fans speak out, they deem as racist, or they don't support the W, or they call them new fans, but which that's not true. So it's just that anybody that comes to the Indiana Fever, they going to ride or die, they're going to support them. But I like to give a special thanks to Sid Colson. Ever since she has been there, she has pretty much said what needed to be said. And the fact of the matter is that Fever fans are not. She said, yeah, there are some fake fans, fake people there, but she knows for a fact, being in Indianapolis, how the Fever fans really are. Same thing with DeWanda Barnum when she got there. Same thing with Sophie Cunningham when she got there. Same thing with Natasha Howard, which Natasha Howard already been there before. So before I even get into anything, Sydney Colson sat down with Eddie White, who has been host of Pacers Overtime and the Pacers pregame show, and he's been around the Indianapolis area, and they sat down and talk about a slew of things. Now, it's a 3-minute clip, so I'm going to play it for you, then I'm going to come back and give my opinion on everything else.
Yeah. And first of all, let's go for Fever fans. They're listening. Yeah. Pacer fans are listening. What was it like coming into this building last year as the enemy? Because these people are crazy.
Yeah, no, nuts. Yeah, nuts. Yeah. Insane. But, I think in the W, you still appreciate it as the as the away team coming in, because you like seeing the attention for the league. Like, it's good for the league. Yes, it's, 1, 2, 3 teams being talked about, majority in the WNBA. It's Indiana Aces, New York. But it's good when other people come into the buildings that get great fan support. You need to be ready to play your A game against that team, because now people are going to be watching. If you have an awesome game, they're going to be like, well, who's this player from such and such team? Maybe I need to start tuning into them more. I think that it's overall good for the league. It's just the way you view it as an opponent coming in. Like, I wish we had more people talking about our team. Well, then come in and bust their when you come here, and they'll talk about you.
I don't have a lot of questions. And someone told me this once. I actually listen to whoever I'm talking to.
I can tell you do.
And you said something there that and this bothers me a little bit, because I work for the Pacers and the Fever. This bothers me when it comes to the Pacers, when you said they talk about the 2-3 teams. Mm-hmm. Well, turn on SportsCenter. Mm-hmm. Halliburton's had 7,000 double-doubles in a row. Yeah. And they will go a whole hour and talk about what AD coming back means to Dallas. Like,
Like it hasn't already happened, yeah.
we got Halliburton here doing well. The Pacers are rolling. What are you talking about? Well, in the W, the Fever are the combination Lakers, Knicks. The Fever, again, I said it, I meant it. They're the most talked about, publicized women's basketball team in the world. You get more. Look at you know how many more people are going to see you play basketball this season than any team has ever seen in the history of basketball. Women's. That's amazing. Okay, so I tell you what it was like coming as the enemy. What's it going to be like when you walk out there and those crazies they're wearing your jersey. They're pulling for you. Now, I won't because, the Notre Dame thing. I will probably...
you got to let that go. Don't hold grudges, dude. That's stressful on your body. Let that
I know.
go.
I'll get therapy for that. But what's it going to be like when you walk out there and those crazy people are pulling for you?
I'm excited for it. Like, I'm ready for it. I think... I have a good relationship with Kelsey Mitchell. We played in Athletes Unlimited, like another pro league, in the off season together for about 3 years. And when I was making my decision, like, I reached out to her because I was like, okay, well, if Kelsey's coming back, like, I want to play with her. I like Caitlin's game. I like Aaliyah's game. Like, I think this could be a fun group. And this was before even Natasha and DB. And I was like, yeah, I want to play with these young kids. Like, they want to win. They're hungry. Like, it seems like a good opportunity, and she says she loves like the fan support, the people. There's a perception from the outside, and yeah, there were some real life crazies that got attached to what was going on, but the people that are true Indiana Fever fans and fans of basketball, they show up and they cheer and they support and they respect the game and they respect the players associated with it. So that's what I'm looking forward to seeing.
I've known Kelsey Mitchell since the day she walked in here, and she was one of those special people. Too? Yeah. I love Kelsey Mitchell. The only thing is, her and I disagree on what kind of chili we like. Cincinnati and is a Gold Star and Skyline. I'm a Skyline. She's a Gold Star. So we fight over chili.
Oh
but
my God.
That's the weird things that we have. We got to wrap it up, but I want to. It's so good to have you here, and you're going to be that.
All right, so you got to listen to what they had to say, and to be honest, I mean, what Sidney Colson had to say is true. At the end of the day, um, it just seems like when you come to a team arena and the team is getting so much attention, it's just like how the Patriots was for the last 20 years. Everybody wanted to beat them. Everybody hated them. Everybody hated Tom Brady. Everybody got tired of seeing them. Same thing we witness now with the Kansas City Chiefs. Now, even though they lost the Super Bowl last year, but still, they are the most talked about team in the NFL. Same thing now. You had last year, you had the Liberty, you had the Aces, you had the Storm, you had the Minnesota Lynx. They was all the talked about team. Indiana was down at the bottom because they were just new. They haven't won anything. They haven't been to the playoff in so long. But now, with all of these acquisitions, they made the playoffs. Free agents want to come and play there. They want to play with Kelsey. They want to play with Aaliyah. They want to play with Caitlin. And they have something special going on there. And plus, the front office is familiar with some of these players, and they brought these players in. So it makes sense that if you go there and play them and you mad, it just goes back to what we was talking about the scheduling. When the schedule came out, how Nafisha Caller got up on SportsCenter and talk about, well, it should be a divided um scheduling with all the teams, not just the Indiana Fever just getting all the TV spotlight. Well, guess what? If you ain't the main attraction, and if you want to, well, maybe if the Minnesota Lynx had won the WNBA title last year, well, Nafisha, you would have got that. You would have got the gains that the Liberty got instead of not. But it just don't go that way. If you want, like Sidney Costa say, if you want that attention, then go in there and beat that team. If you tired of hearing Indiana, or hearing people talk about Indiana all the time, guess what? Go into their home, beat them, because every game is a home game for them. So rather they come to your home, you got to beat them. If they come on your floor, you got to beat them. If you don't beat them, guess what? You're gonna continue to hear the Indiana Fever name all through the season. So you beat them, hey, the spotlight shines on you. If you don't beat them, guess what happens? The spotlight continues to stay on America's team. So I agree with it. It's just that the same old age-old narratives, the false narratives that continue to circulate around there, where people keep talking about how the Indiana fans and how nobody wanted to play with the Fever. You know, we had Cheryl Swoops. Now she's on her apologetic, semi-apologetic move, talking about how great the Indiana Fever free agency was, and that they're gonna win the title this year. Last year, she was trying to cause division in the locker room, saying that nobody wants to play for Indiana, and Kelsey Mitchell was gonna leave. But now she thought that narrative was gonna work. Now she see that the Indiana Fever is mean business, and now she wants to sing song and praise. You had the same thing with Asia Wilson them, that nobody wants to come to Indiana. They mad that the Indianapolis got the All-Star weekend this year. And so, but if they don't want to participate and come to Indiana, because I look at it like this. Once they come to Indiana for All-Star weekend, they're gonna get booed. No doubt about it, because a lot of people around the league don't like them. But they're gonna see the difference between the cities and say, oh, because you think about it, they already came there, they played them, so nobody really did anything to them. They just want to hold on to that same old age-old narrative and continue to pump out false information when it's not true. And I'm glad Sidney Colson addressed that because guess what? When the season starts and the Indiana Fever is one of the top 3, 4 teams in the league, they're going to be talked about all segment long, especially if they're winning and they putting out extraordinary numbers. They're going to be the talk of everybody on NBA Today with Malika Andrews doing on every sports network. Yeah, you probably can't keep Chanel Umake the Fever name out of Chanel Umake's mouth all season long, especially. So that's just where it's at. And like I said, if you can't beat them, then join them. That's the way I look at it. But until the next video, until the next episode, Live Wire Sports, and continue to hit that like, comment, subscribe. I got videos dropping for days, and it's going to be a great season. Trust me, it's going to be a great season. And continue to hit that join button to become a member of the channel. There's a lot of great things it's going to be popping off on this channel. So therefore, continue love and support. And until the next episode, Live Wire Sports, and I'm out.
Hey, so amazing. You see how they playing? Live wire, it's all about sports and entertainment. You don't want to miss it, so official like you never seen. Keep it going till the whistle blowing from the referee. Everything from highlights and stats. You know that we gotta run it back, whether on the field or the court. You know that this is where it's at. Subscribe, no delaying. This is Live Wire, sports and entertainment. Let's go.